2006, I think it was. I then came to Joburg, and then I've been in Joburg ever since.
So when you moved to Joburg, you are doing your grade 4. What school is this? Because obviously there's people that did go to school with you that can corroborate such information.
Okay, so in the Northwest, I went to a school called Qualifications Primary, right? So in Qualifications, I left midterm, right? So I left midterm of grade 3, and then I came to Joburg. So when I got to Joburg, I was living in the Randburg area. There's a school called Robin Hills, right? So when I entered that school, we wrote an entry exam or whatever it's called, and then I was promoted, and then I skipped my grade 4, and then I was promoted to grade 5, right? And then I did my grade 5, and then I was then promoted yet again, and then I was promoted to grade 7. So all of this is in one school, Kwalakito. So once I was then done with my grade 7, my principal, told me that, hey, there's this scholarship to do Cambridge education. You should apply and all of that. So I applied, and then I got the scholarship. So when I also went to the Cambridge, which is the Cambridge Assessment International Education, I also did an entry there as well, an entry test, and then they placed me in grade 9, and then I continued until A level. So A level, it's like your first year of university, right? So it's like that introduction into varsity. So it's also quite beneficial, like go to varsities internationally and all of that. So then so the next school was Oxford Academy, and then I left that one. I think it was 2015, 16, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember that well. And then I left there with an A level, which is a Cambridge AICA diploma. So for short, we just call it a high school diploma, and they call it A level certificate.
So now, Tommy, how many times were you promoted in the middle of these schools? Was it 2 or 3 times?
3 times.
So that is grade 4, your grade 8, and that would have been grade 10 next.
No. It was grade 4, grade 6, and grade 8.
So now, tell me about, we hear that. Tell me about your entry into the Big S Verts and how that came about and which year was this. And I would also like to use, because obviously we also do know, our doctor friends, there is no way that you were alone in class and whatnot. You can also dabble into the examples, into the names of the people that you were with in class. For 5-6 years, there's people you was with. You can use those as an example.
Okay. Went to Wits 2015 or 16, between somewhere there. Can't really.
Oh no, date to be specific. Was it 2015 or was it 2016? Which year was this?
Okay, let's see. So I graduated in 2020. So I would say 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so it was 2015.
You get your entry, and then is there someone that you think or any person would know that you were with in class? Like if I was with, Dr. Musa Mtombeni in class, I would use Dr. Mtombeni in class. There's the people that I was with, because obviously at the end of the day, we all meet on the socials.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I mention names, y'all won't even know the people. Like there's no one popular person that I would say that, okay, I went with this one to school, particular popular person.
And okay, going into that, obviously after you qualify, after you finish, and then you have to do your in-serve. Your in-serve would be 2 years, and then you also do your community service. Where did you do that? Where did you do that? Your in-service training followed by your community service. Where was that? And how old were you if you were, if you were to give a good time frame?
Mm-hmm. So I started my intern when I was 21. Yeah, I was 21 and then did it for 2 years. I'm not sure if I should mention names of institutions, but then I guess I can. Okay, so what is this thing called? So remember that in intern you will do it at various different hospitals depending on the rotation. So I have done my rotation at Helen Joseph. I have done it at Coronation. I have also think it at Chalamatlaike. So it just depends on what rotation you have done. I did my, what is this thing, primary healthcare at Discoveries, which is in Florida.
Wait, Tommy, wait. But if you, and it's after you finish, okay, you've graduated from the varsity, you get placed at a specific hospital. The rotations, yes, they could happen because of the shortages, but you will get placed that I've gotten, like myself, when I did my community service, I did it in the East Rand, but I was placed in that specific hospital. Yeah. So where were you placed according to the varsity? Where did they place you? And then whether you rotated or not, I think it's irrelevant. Yeah. But they placed you somewhere. Where were you placed for your in-serve and for your community service?
At Helen Joseph.
And that's where you also did your community service.
Oh, so my did it in the Northwest. So you don't do like in cities, big cities. Currently doing community service, so I'm not done with it.
So you saying that you were a bursary student, because if you were a bursary student, obviously that always comes from your disadvantaged backgrounds and the whatnot. If you applied that, when you applied for your bursary, and then you would have said, after you finish with the school and then you get placed where your bursary was paying, were you a bursary student actually, or were you not?
No, I wasn't. So the scholarship, I think a lot of people confuse a scholarship and a bursary. So a scholarship was in camp with the Cambridge syllabus, so I didn't pay school fees and that whole entire thing. But then my actual education, it was not bursary or government or anything like that.
Okay. I will open the floor at some point, as soon as probably when I'm done, because I only have like a couple of questions left. And then I think not everybody, but a couple of people, would like to ask you some stuff wherever I missed and the whatnot. So if you would give us a chance, and then everybody can fill in wherever I didn't, so that the whole thing makes sense, because it comes with a lot of confusion. And everybody says you're not a doctor, but you keep insisting that you are. And now I wanna fast forward to where we are at now. When you started your TikTok and the whatnot, take me through that journey to when you start, selling that immunoglobulins and the whatnot. Do you know your story, so you can just talk into it?
Yeah. Okay, so I started my TikTok 3 years ago. It's crazy that it's 3 years. So when I first started my TikTok, so I would take videos at work, doing different rotation, so yeah, different rotations, surgeries. So some of the contents that I used to post used to be surgical until and then blocked the whole account. And then I shifted into HIV/AIDS. I also founded an NGO called Greater Than AIDS Africa. So I founded that thing was all about HIV and AIDS content. So I would host lives where people both, who live with HIV and don't live with HIV would come in, ask HIV related questions. We would invite other doctors, other nurses, kind of have that type of conversation. And that's how I grew my account to the, huge following that it had, because it was HIV and AIDS. So, as you know, we will continue doing the HIV and AIDS content. A lot of the other questions I would get from people will be about, supplements, like weight loss supplements. I don't know if I should mention names, but then, they would tell me that, oh my God, there's this specific nut that I eat. It caused me, to have kidney failure. Now I'm on hemodialysis and all of that, you understand? So I was like, okay. So clearly here, there is a market for supplements. People want things that actually work and which are not going to really affect their kidney. So that's where the idea of AfriBloom kind of like came to be. It started it's about 10 months. So it started with our liposomal L-glutamine, which is popularly known as the Mokaba pill. The name just came from the people who were using it. And so one of the biggest misconceptions is people think that we fill the capsules ourselves, and no, we don't. In fact, if you followed the journey from the humble beginning, you would know that there was a video that I used to do at the lab that packages it. So we just get the end product. And when we started off at first, we used to do our own stickers, right? So that is why people, were talking about that barcode that was written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, whatever. So we used to do that our own. We used to do our own barcodes, because for the lab to design and put the barcode was like 20 Rand per bottle. And we're like, no, we can do that ourselves. So we did it for about 2 months. And then after 2 months, then we, kind of like grew as a company. And then we started going for the more professional look. So our barcode changed, our bottles changed. A lot of the things kind of like changed now to be more professional looking, and the support has been amazing. The support has been amazing in that regard. No complaints. So even these people who are saying, it's fake product, I wonder fake based on what evidence. And then people then started, requesting other products we should look into. And the biggest one was something for hormones to help, not necessarily, like balance your hormones, but to actually counteract the symptoms of like menopause, PCOS, and hot flashes and all of that, right? So we have a team of, different types, because then also people didn't want something that, had side effect. They wanted something very herbal, So we kind of like invited different people in different fields. We have a herbalist who's also a professor and a researcher. We have homeopathic doctors. We have a group of people that kind of like advise us on different herbs we could try. And then we then looked at this particular Chinese herbs for our hormonal tea. And then we were looking for herbs that are scientifically tested. So we wanted something that we could say, listen, scientifically, this is what this thing actually does. This is how it works. We didn't want to go based on, you go to a Sangoma, I tell you, Pozalana, and have faith. We didn't want something like that. We wanted something that could be tested. And so that is why we then imported our herbs from China, because a lot of already scientifically tested. Then, Shem, as the business, it grew to also other African countries, and that's been the journey.